Hi everyone, and welcome to our daily show, The Big Story, where we discuss the hottest topics of the day right here in the heart of the newsroom. My name is Alyssa Wu, and I'm coming to you live from the Straits Times. We are streaming live right now on Facebook and YouTube. And if you're watching on YouTube, do subscribe to our page and click that bell button to be notified whenever we go live. I'll be joined very shortly by my newsroom colleagues, where we'll discuss the topics that got you talking today. For our first story, users of voice-activated Google devices might want to know that, yes, your conversations are being recorded. But according to Google, these recordings are necessary to improve its software's understanding of various languages. I have here with me tech journalist Hariz, here to elaborate on it a bit more. Hi, Hariz.
Hi.
Right. So what activates the recording process?
Okay, so these devices like your Google Home, or essentially devices that have Google Assistant, or even your Siri types of things, use this thing called a wake word to essentially wake up and start recording your voice to decide what you want to do. So for example, if let's say I say, hey Google, or okay Google, show me what's the weather like today. So Google will know that after whatever I say, hey Google, then the instruction comes later. So that part is the one that's recorded by the machine, the device, to help you carry out whatever task you want it to do. Yeah.
So is it the whole phrase, hey Google, or just the words like, hey, it's enough to activate that?
It depends on what phrase you set it to, but the default from what I know is hey Google. Yeah.
Understand. So who then has access to these recordings, and why would they have access to them?
So when you agree to use a Google Assistant, whether it being Google Home, or Google Nest Hub recently launched, or even your phone when you go hey Google, you are essentially agreeing to letting Google take some of your data to make its products better. There's nothing illegal about this. It's actually part of the terms and conditions when you agree to use the service. But according to the news, it seems that a portion of this is sent to contractors or third-party vendors to improve it, like you mentioned. So Google has actually come out to say that language experts review about 0.2% of all audio snippets that its assistant records. But Google also added that these snippets are not associated with its user accounts. So that means essentially that the snippets that they recorded can't be traced back to you, and they can't say, oh, that means I play this, I know Hariz is talking. No, I don't think it works that way. At least that's what they're saying.
And this is an issue because, like you mentioned, these recordings are accessed by third-party people, and we know that they're doing this because it was actually leaked by a man in Europe.
Yes, a Belgian reporter, I think. Yeah, so what the news essentially is that this Belgian journalist, he got hold of about 1,000 snippets of these recordings that Google had sent to its third-party vendor, to conduct whatever processes it was conducting to essentially make its language perception abilities better. So out of these 1,000 over records, about more than 10%, 153 of them actually should not have been recorded, apparently. He said because the machine accidentally picked up the recording, even though the wake word wasn't used. So I would imagine instead of saying, hey Google, it might have been something like, hey Google, or some kind of permutation that the machine or the device thought that was meant for it. This is dangerous because when you agree to use Google Assistant, you're agreeing to let Google record your instructions, but not anything else. So, you never know what could Google be picking up.
Therein lies the danger.
Yeah, so, and Google doesn't have a good track record of essentially protecting user privacy data. I mean, I'm sure it has had its ups and downs, but I think at the start of the year, I think Google was fined 50 million euros by the French Data Protection Authority for essentially not properly disclosing to its users how data is collected across its services, and this refers to like your YouTube, Google Maps, that kind of thing, to present personalized advertisements. So I guess having tighter regulations like the GDPR now might help. It does seem like they're playing catch up right now. Of course, I know it's easier said than done, right? I mean, who am I to say that what's easy and what's not to do for Google? But I feel that maybe moving forward, when new products or new services are introduced, security should be thought of from the start, I think, as opposed to what we have now, where we have the product and it's out there, people are using it, and then you realize all these loopholes are out there. So is it a case of too little too late? I'm not sure, but hopefully moving forward we can better prioritize security lah, I think. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Hariz. So
No worries.
what this means, I think we should all then take the time to read the terms and conditions, right? Before
So-
saying we agree.